So welcome once again to another segment of Who Would Win. And today it's going to be, as you can see right here, my mind has concocted this fight, which is Darth Vader versus Saber from the Fate Stay series. Well, Fate Zero mostly, but yeah. This series, I love talking about Fate Stay Night because, Fate Zero in general, because I never really cared much for Fate Stay Night, but I haven't watched Fate Unlimited Blade Works, so yeah, I haven't been able to see that yet. But yeah, so anyway, Vader versus Saber. How would that go down? My mind kind of reeled for a bit. It was like, who would come out winning in this fight? Now, as we all know, let's talk about Vader for a bit. Vader, as we all know, is probably one of the most powerful Sith Lords. Now, obviously, his cybernetic body causes him to have certain limitations, but don't count him out. Vader is literally a walking tank whose connection to the Force, as well as the dark side of it, is still pretty strong. Vader has been seen to even pull whole ships down from the sky. Vader, even though he cannot cast Sith lightning, he can create an electrical discharge from his armor. As well as he's also proficient in lightsaber combat, his main form being Dijemso, which is, for Dijemso, it's this heavy-based strike, it's this heavy-based, very coordinated saber form of combat. It was mostly used by Vader to, originally he had a Taru, back when he was Anakin, when he could easily move more. But Dijemso gives him more, powerful strikes, and you add that with the cybernetic strength Vader has in his body, and it balances out basically to heavy-based, like, cut down anything in his path kind of strikes. Vader is also very tolerant of pain. You know, he's been stabbed through the chest, he's been blown up, all this kind of crazy shit. And even if his armor is damaged, he can still survive through a limited time through the Force. The Force can actually keep him alive through a certain amount of damage. And, yeah, what more can I say about Vader? We know what he's capable of. Anyway, so Saber, on the other hand, Saber is, of course, is Arthuria Pendragon. Yeah, she's King Arthur. And she wields Excalibur. Literally, she's one of the finest swordsmen in history, basically, if not the best swordsman. She's also has a very powerful noble phantasm. She's incredibly smart. She's an excellent swordswoman. Probably, like I said, one of the best. And wields friggin' Excalibur. So yeah, what would it be like if these two were to fight? Now you're probably wondering, but a lightsaber can cut through metal. Yeah, but on the other hand, if you look at the logic from Soul Calibur 4, which had Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller in the game, they kind of counted as like, oh, the weapons are magic, so that's why that's why the lightsaber couldn't cut through them. So in this scenario, I'm going to go by the Soul Calibur logic because, well, you can't get much more magic than Excalibur. So yeah, we're gonna have Excalibur have the same magical properties, so the lightsaber won't be able to cut it. So this battle would probably be a very intense one. You know, Vader is very proficient in his lightsaber combat, but however, the problem is that Vader is slow. Saber has the speed advantage. She has, she can maneuver out of the way of that lightsaber. She can keep moving around Vader, as well as, that sword, Excalibur could probably deflect several times over the heavy strikes that Vader has from his Dijemso style. You also have to take into account that, on the other end of the spectrum, that even if, Saber stabs Vader a few times over, he's not going to go down right off the bat, He's been stabbed so many times to the chest. Hell, he even stabbed during a fight in one of the original Dark Horse comics when he was battling a resurrected Darth Maul. He impaled himself on his own lightsaber to take out Maul. So make no mistake, it's going to take several strikes. I could even imagine Vader surviving through Saber's noble phantasm, but rest assured, he's going to have to focus the Force on healing himself and keeping himself alive, as well as his system stable, as well as rather than focused on her. So that would be the big thing, is that the more damage he takes, the more his suit's going to fail, and the more he's going to need the Force to keep him alive and keep going. He's going to have to rely only on his lightsaber. But here's the other thing. Vader has the Force. That's the other thing. You know, that mystical energy field that surrounds us and binds us and is kind of all over the place. Something that Saber can't really get away from. So it would be hard for Saber to break out of that Force choke. That's all I'm saying. I would imagine, you know, how is she going, you know, unless she has a Force barrier, somehow her magic can, you know, that magical armor she has can break out of a Force choke. I don't know how she's going to, you know, get away from it. That's the thing. They each have their own sword styles as well as their own strengths and weaknesses against one another. So this would be a pretty brutal battle to the end, and I can't really decide who would come out on top in such a bloody conflict. You know, like I said, Saber has the speed as well as the tactical advantage. She also wields literally one of the most powerful blades ever. So you could look at it that way, but then you look at Vader and his strong connection to the Force, as well as he's not an idiot. You know, that's a big thing people seem to underestimate with Vader, is that when they first see Vader, they all think he's some big dumb brute, but in reality, he's pretty intelligent. He is very intelligent and is going to realize he does not have the speed advantage, but what he does have is the Force around him. And let's not forget, like I said, Vader is very, you know, he can keep going. Vader can keep going, with the exception that he'd have to rely on the Force, more focused on himself than Saber, and that might come back to bite him in the ass. So I really don't know who would come out on top in this fight. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Who do you think would win in this matchup, Darth Vader or Saber? Just put, if you think Vader should win, if you think Vader would win, put hashtag Vader wins, and just list off the reasons why you think Vader would win. Or if you think Saber wins, just put hashtag Saber wins and list off the reasons why you think she would win. Anyway, really looking forward to what you guys have to say about this matchup. But once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.